Part 1.
You will hear a conversation between a client and a flight centre agent about making changes to an airline booking. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. Good morning, Mrs. Gray. This is Bert Stock speaking from Finnegan's Flight Centre. I can now confirm your flight to Singapore.
Oh, good. No problems, I hope.
No, everything is in order.
So we got the dates we wanted?
Yes, leaving from Hong Kong on the 25th of July and arriving in Singapore later the same day.
How long does the flight last?
Oh, about 3 hours 40 minutes.
So we'd get there at...
9:45.
in the evening?
No, 9:45 a.m.
But that means we'd be leaving at...
Your flight leaves Hong Kong at 6:05 a.m.
So we'd have to check in an hour before that?
Mrs. Gray, check-in closes 60 minutes before your scheduled departure. If you arrive after check-in has closed, you will not be able to board the flight, and you may forfeit your entire fare. I would strongly recommend that you arrive at the check-in counter at least 120 minutes before your departure time.
So you're saying we should be at the airport no later than 4:05 a.m?
That's correct.
But we'd have to get up in the middle of the night to arrive by that time. Can't we get a later flight?
Not on July 25th. Now, there is a later flight on certain weekdays, but not at the weekend.
Well, we must go with what we've got then, because we're not at all flexible on the dates because of work commitments.
Can I confirm that you want to return on August 7th?
Yes, that's the idea.
Flight VQ239 will depart from Singapore at 9:20 a.m. on August 7th.
Oh, that's a much more civilized time. Tell me, the time zone is the same, isn't it? We don't gain or lose an hour along the way.
There's no change in the time zone, so you can expect to be back at around 1 p.m. Does that suit you?
Oh, absolutely. I'll have time to unpack before dinner. We're expecting to meet friends at the new seafood restaurant at 8 o'clock.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Mrs. Gray, I'll send you all these details by an email or letter of confirmation. Which do you prefer?
Well, email is faster, but we've been having difficulties with our internet connection. So, if you could post it out, I'd appreciate that.
Now, just one or two other things to check before final confirmation. You're booked on a Lifelight ticket.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, you'll only have carry-on baggage. Is that right?
Oh, yes, that was the original idea. It's so much quicker not having to wait around at the luggage carousel, but...
Yes?
Can you remind me of the allowance again?
With a Lifelight ticket, you're allowed 10 kilos of hand baggage.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea now.
Oh?
Well, apparently we're going to have to attend quite a few formal functions while we're away. So I think I'm going to need a real suitcase to fit the extra clothes and shoes in.
Well, that's not a problem. I can upgrade you to the next level and change your ticket to Easy Flight. There will be an extra charge, of course.
How much?
$30 per checked-in item of luggage, weighing no more than 22 kilos per item.
Well, we'll probably manage with just a single suitcase between the two of us. Is it possible to do it like that?
Yes, of course. You can take the easy flight option and your husband can stay with the light flight ticket.
Great.
I'll give you your reservation number now, so if you need to make any further changes or inquiries, you can just quote this reference, okay?
Yes, I have a pen and paper. What is it?
L4G BWF.
L4G BUF?
WF.
Thanks, I've got it now.
At this point, I can actually book your seat numbers. Do you have any preference? Window or aisle?
Oh, not by the window, Bert. You see, I'm quite a nervous flyer, and I don't like looking out. What's more, my husband likes a bit of room to stretch his legs. Aisle would be good.
Great. That's sorted then. As I said, I'll send you the details, and if you need to talk to the agency again, just quote that reference number I gave you.
Thanks so much. Bye.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
Part 2.
You will hear a conversation between a doctor and a student. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15.
Good afternoon, Doctor. May I come in?
Yes, come in.
I'm a freshman in the university, and I don't feel very good.
Okay, sit down, please. I need to record some basic details about you first.
Fine.
What's your full name?
Mary Nixon.
Is your surname spelt Nixon?
That's right.
Well, Mary, what's your major?
I'm studying art.
A good choice. Tell me your registered number.
Registered number? Sorry, I'm not sure. Maybe...
Did you bring your union card or library card?
Yes, I brought it.
Okay, well, tell me the number on your card.
It is MN0918.
And your birthday?
I was born on November 20th, 1987.
Where are you from?
I come from New York.
Oh, we are from the same city.
Really?
Yes. Where do you live? Campus accommodation?
Actually, I will move out from campus flat tomorrow. I rent a house in Northwest with 3 friends.
Fine. Tell me your present address.
It is 17th King Street.
Okay, and your contact number?
3678259.
Right, now let's get some of your medical background.
Okay.
Have you ever had any serious illnesses or accidents?
I got gastritis when I was in middle school.
Did you have an operation?
No, I just took medicine and had some injections.
Anything else?
No, nothing.
Now, look at questions 16 to 20. So, Mary, what's your trouble?
Well, recently I've been having some trouble with my head and eyes and nose.
Oh no.
I think I've got a terrible flu.
Maybe or maybe not. Describe your problem specifically.
Okay, since last week I've been sneezing, and sometimes I can't stop, and even later I begin to feel dizzy.
Do you get a fever?
No.
Did you attend any unusual activities during the last week?
Let me think. No, nothing special. Yeah, I had camping last Monday.
To where?
Eastern Mountain. You know there are lots of beautiful flowers. We took many photos there.
So your illness has lasted for 1 week?
Yes, but sometimes I'm fine. I don't know why.
Do you have any allergies?
I remember I got allergic to mango when I was a child, but now I'm fine.
How about flowers? I mean, pollen.
You mean I'm allergic to pollen?
Yes.
What should I do?
I suggest you take some medicine first and drink more water.
Okay.
And then, if your symptoms are getting worse, I suggest you go to a hospital to check.
Okay, thank you very much.
I hope you will recover soon.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3. Part 3.
You will hear a conversation between a new student and a lecturer. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
Good morning. May I come in?
Yes, come in, please.
I'm a new student and I'm looking for the Office of Engineering faculty. Is this the right place?
Yes, this is the Faculty of Engineering. How can I help you?
I know there was an orientation meeting last Friday, but I didn't attend that meeting. So I'm wondering if someone could give me some information about, the campus life or course requirements or something like that.
Yes. Sit down, please. Where shall we begin?
Firstly, how many lectures do I have to attend every week?
There are not too many lectures of postgraduate courses. Let me check. Oh, you have lectures on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoon, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
How often do I have to attend seminars in a week?
Well, there is only one group seminar on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock.
You mean a group?
Yes.
How many people are there in one group?
About 3 to 5.
Fine.
You will discuss about 20 minutes, and then the representative of your group will give a short presentation.
A presentation?
Right.
Do all members in the group have a chance to give a presentation?
Maybe. And then your subject advisor will give you a mark.
A mark? Does that mean the representative's mark is all members' mark?
That's right.
How about attendance?
The postgraduate attendance is only 70%, but a few students will be absent in our faculty.
Fine. Should I choose the time? Because I have a part-time job.
I am afraid not. You know, the postgraduate course is very intensive. We do not suggest that our students do any other jobs.
Yes, I see. I will spend time on my course. Oh, how many modular courses are there in the coming academic year?
You have 3 modular courses from September to June next year.
Okay.
Now, look at questions 26 to 30. Anything else I can help you with?
I'd like to know some information about the course assessment.
Well, beside presentation, you will have an exam at the end of the term.
An exam? What type of exam?
It's an open book exam,
Fine.
but your main assessment is the assignment.
You mean homework?
Yes, you will have to write an assignment with 6,000 to 7,000 words every month.
6,000 to 7,000?
Yes.
Oh, how about the topic?
Your tutor will give you some advice on the topic based on some course handouts or reference books, but you have to narrow the topic by yourself.
So can I choose the topic of essay by myself?
Yes, of course.
Great.
You must pay attention to your essay deadline. All assignment work must be handed in before the deadline your tutor gives you.
When should I visit my tutor?
You should check your tutor's name and contact number on our website.
Fine.
Do you have a library card?
No, I have not applied for one.
I think you should register for a library card first, because you need it when you borrow reference books from the library.
Okay, I will apply for one tomorrow morning.
Anything else?
The last thing is, how can I get my username and password for our university's website?
First, you should go to the computer centre to register, and then they will give you a username and password.
That's fine. Thanks for your introduction.
You are welcome. See you later.
See you.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
Part 4.
You will hear a student speaking on chocolate, its origin, production and popularity. The presentation will be beneficial to the students taking courses in bakery and confectionery. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Chocolate is a typically sweet, usually brown food preparation of Theobroma cacao seeds roasted and ground, often flavoured, as with vanilla. It is made in the form of a liquid, paste or in a block, or used as a flavouring ingredient in other sweet foods. Cacao has been cultivated by many cultures for at least 3 millennia in Mesoamerica. The earliest evidence of use traces to the Mochaya, that is, Mexico and Guatemala, with evidence of chocolate beverages dating back to 1900 BC. In fact, the majority of Mesoamerican people made chocolate beverages, including the Maya and Aztecs, who made it into a beverage known as a Nahuatl word meaning bitter water. The seeds of the cacao tree have an intense bitter taste and must be fermented to develop the flavour. After fermentation, the beans are dried, cleaned and roasted. The shell is removed to produce cacao nibs, which are then ground to cocoa mass, pure chocolate in rough form. Because the cocoa mass is usually liquefied before being moulded with or without other ingredients, it is called chocolate liquor. The liquor also may be processed into two components, cocoa solids and cocoa butter. Unsweetened baking chocolate, which is bitter chocolate, contains primarily cocoa solids and cocoa butter in varying proportions. Much of the chocolate consumed today is in the form of sweet chocolate, a combination of cocoa solids, cocoa butter or other fat, and sugar. Milk chocolate is sweet chocolate that additionally contains milk powder or condensed milk. White chocolate contains cocoa butter, sugar and milk, but no cocoa solids. Cocoa solids are one of the richest sources of flavonol antioxidants. They also contain alkaloids such as theobromine, phenethylamine and caffeine. These have physiological effects on the body and are linked to serotonin levels in the brain. Some research has found that chocolate, eaten in moderation, can lower blood pressure. The presence of theobromine renders chocolate toxic to some animals, especially dogs and cats. Chocolate has become one of the most popular food types and flavours in the world, and a vast number of foodstuffs involving chocolate have been created. Chocolate chip cookies have become very common and very popular in most parts of Europe and North America. Gifts of chocolate moulded into different shapes have become traditional on certain holidays. Chocolate is also used in cold and hot beverages, such as chocolate milk and hot chocolate. Although cocoa originated in the Americas, today Western Africa produces almost 2/3 of the world's cocoa, with Côte d'Ivoire growing almost half of it. European Union regulations require dark chocolate to have at least 60% cocoa solids, milk chocolate 25%, and white chocolate none. The word chocolate entered the English language from Spanish. How the word came into Spanish is less certain, and there are competing explanations. Perhaps the most cited explanation is that the chocolatl comes from Nahuatl, the language of the Aztecs, from the word chocolate, which many sources derive from chocolatl, combining chococ, sour or bitter, and atl, water or drink. However, as William Bright noted, the word chocolatl does not occur in central Mexican colonial sources, making this an unlikely derivation. Santa Maria gives a derivation from the Yucatec Mayan word chocol, meaning hot, and the Nahuatl atl, meaning water. Sophie and Michael D. Coe agree with this etymology word chocolatl.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.